ouch. Oh, so that's the noise that we make when we hurt ourselves in English. In our life, we may hurt ourselves, have accidents, and injure ourselves. So we call these bumps and bruises. Bumps and bruises are the pain that we cause to ourselves through injuries and accidents. So in this video, I'm going to talk about some of the different types of bumps and bruises. And if you see these symbols, that means somebody's hurt themselves and they're saying some bad words like ouch, oh shh, these type of words. Okay, so let's continue. Now, the first of these types of accidents or injuries is when we hit our bodies and the color changes. So you can see the color can be blue, purple, or black, and we call this type of injury a bruise. Okay, so this is a bruise. All right, if we bruise our face, particularly our eye area, then this is called a black eye. These people have black eyes. Boxers, people who fight or do karate or kung fu, often have black eyes from fighting. Okay, there are many different types of injuries, and sometimes we end up hurting our heads. So this is a head injury. When we do this, sometimes we might see stars. So, oh, I'm seeing stars. Or if it's a very serious head injury, then we call this a concussion. So this is a concussion. Okay. Now, some head injuries can lead to part of our body growing, okay, when we hurt ourselves badly. So this word is a bump or a knock. A knock is referring, or this means when we hit our body against something. So we can have a knock to the head or we can knock other body parts. Oh, I knocked my arm, I knocked my leg. Okay, so bumps can be very big, like this poor guy, or the one on my terrible drawing here, or bumps can sometimes be very small, where our skin is raised. These are very small bumps. Okay, so let's continue. Some head injuries can look like this, and that's a bump or a knock, but we also have another word. And this word also includes things that grow out of our bodies. So we can call this a lump. If you do have a lump, it's a very good idea to go to the doctor. Okay, another very common injury, perhaps the most common, is if we cut ourselves. So a cut is normally a straight line where we have broken the skin. So we say we have penetrated the skin and we have cut open our skin and there is usually blood. Okay, so these are two examples of cuts. Now, if a cut is very small and in a straight line, we call this a scratch. If you work with animals, then you might get scratches. So a scratch is countable. One scratch, 2, 3, 4 scratches. Okay, so they can be painful, but they're not as serious as some other types of cuts. Okay, now, if a cut is very, very small, in spoken English, we would call this a nick. So a nick is a tiny cut, and generally we don't have to worry. If we say, ouch, and you hurt yourself, and somebody's worried, you can say, don't worry, it's just a nick. It's just a nick. Okay, now, if our skin is broken, if it's damaged, and we've broken or peeled the layer, So this is the layer of our skin. We can see here that this is broken from rubbing or scraping. Scraping is stronger than rubbing. If you have very dirty dishes in your kitchen, you need to scrape them. You need to rub against them very strongly to get the kitchen mess off your kitchen plates or bowls. So the technical word for this is called an abrasion. An abrasion. So that's a difficult word to say. Abrasion. Notice the j sound. Abrasion. Okay. We can also call this type of injury a scrape. Okay. Now, another type of abrasion, which is a light abrasion, where we've taken off a very thin layer of our skin, is called a graze. Okay, so this boy has grazed his leg. Okay, if we have a very serious cut, we might require stitches, or health professionals often call them sutures. Sutures. So stitches and sutures. Okay. If we have a very deep, very serious cut, this is called a gash. Okay, a gash. All right, so this is a very serious cut with a very big open wound. Now, the last injury, and perhaps one of the most serious, is a broken bone. This is an example of a broken leg, and here are some photos of broken bones. This is a very serious injury. Now, please try to remember all of these words, and please note that I am trying to speak at native speaker speed. If you need to slow down the video, remember that on YouTube, you can select to slow down the video. So I hope this helps, and please stay safe. I hope you don't have any bumps and bruises soon.